So you're about to get a very special gift of over $100 worth of Cymatics packs absolutely free. Just watch this video to the end and you will get that. And in the meantime, I'm actually about to dive into the full version of Solstice, our new production suite. First, listen to what you can make with the pack.
I don't do no dancing, don't do romancing, I can't let you pass, don't try to catch, doing
I'm super excited about this thing, and I'm gonna show you guys why. If you're maybe stuck in a rut, maybe you're not getting the best mixes, or you're just in a creative block and you want to explore new sounds, that Solstice is essentially gonna help you get better in all of those areas. In total, this thing's over 30 gigabytes of sounds. It's actually the largest production suite we have released in years, and let me show you why it's so special. First off, there are over 15 genres of music in here. So let's say you're feeling like R&B. Or if you want to explore something completely different, like samples made with real synthesizers. So you're actually getting access to around 300 melodies in total, and one of the things that I really love is actually every single melody loop actually comes with full stems and MIDI. So let's take a loop like this. Right here, I get access immediately to all the stems. If you like working with full melody loops, that's great, but this gives you access to go in any direction you want. And honestly, that's the whole purpose of this production suite. It's essentially a creativity engine, and you're about to see whether you're working on melodies or you're working on drums, you essentially have millions of different combinations where you can really mix, match, and process this stuff in a way that gives you limitless creativity. So I could just take these two layers and just go to a whole new place with it, and that's really what makes this thing special. Another thing you can do is you can dive in and mix and match these layers. I think that's where a lot of the creativity comes into play, and you can also make stuff completely from scratch. Each sample also comes with the MIDI, which I think is absolutely critical, because if you want to design your own sounds or use the one-shot collection included, this really expands your options. So if I wanted to take that, okay, I can dive into the one-shots here where we have bells, instruments, keys, leads, pads, and this stuff is literally a lot of times, in my opinion, a lot better than using VSTs, because when it comes to these things, they've already been pre-processed, and the thing that makes that special is, one, you can always add more processing on top, but a lot of beautiful little imperfections and little details are baked into the sample, and when you apply that to a keyboard, you get a lot of cool outcomes. So let's find something to flip this MIDI into. Ooh. See, right there, I'm already able to get some amazing chords and new feeling into this sample just from the MIDI. And I don't even have to use the layers if I don't want to. I can just go with this new direction. Or if I want to start bringing them back in. See, already right there from the original sample, we have a whole different vibe. And I think that's the cool thing that makes this special. Every time you go to open up Solstice, you're essentially going to find a brand new sound that you probably never explored. Because I think a lot of producers get stuck in these pockets where they keep making the same type of song over and over again. And what this is going to do is going to push you out of those boundaries. One of the things that's actually very exciting is these melody enhancers that we have in here. So if you have a base set of chords or a very simple melody started that you either created or you took from a stem layer, you can actually add accents. These are little things you can sprinkle on top of the melody that just gives it more melodic elements that the listener is really going to love, and just add a bit of variety to your stuff and make it unique. There's also textures and tonal ambience that can also add a ton of emotion and feeling to any sort of sample. Like listen to that. Just that, all that emotion and feeling just sitting behind a melodic sample, it can add a lot to your music. And we have little phrases too, right? Not every producer is the most melodically talented music theory type of person. And one thing I love about phrases is we had a lot of talented musicians and producers who are good at those things, give you these little phrases that you can essentially stack on top of your melodic ideas just to give it a bit of interesting variety. You just sprinkle these on top and you essentially get really cool outcomes right away. So if you want to get better mixes, pay attention to this next part because these drums have been processed to perfection, not only to hit hard and cut through any mix, but also more importantly, in a lot of cases, in my opinion, add a lot of emotion and feeling to it. So it's not just about a drum sample busting through. It's about how does that add to the emotional story of your song. So I'm going to build a little bit of a vibe with some of the different elements we have in here, like the percussion loops. So you might take something like this. And then I might take something like, I'll go to the drum loops folder. I'm gonna go to boom bap because this one's sitting at 90. I'm gonna find stem layers from the drum loops to add to it. So I like that snare. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to new era. I'm gonna grab the snare. Okay, let me grab another piece of something I like. I really like that hi-hat. So I'm gonna grab that from phone drum. Now let's find a kick. That one, charging, okay. Okay, cool, so I got a couple elements and now let me go ahead and add some drum accents, which is new for us, just to give it a little bit more variety. The first thing I like is these drum fills. So I might take something like this and I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. That's it, just a little bit, right? These drum accents are meant just to add a little bit of flavor. Let's find a hi-hat roll, it might be cool as well. So I'll take something like this. And a lot of times these don't have to be perfect. I'm just adding in little garnishes to spice it up a little bit. Now I actually want to go ahead and I'm going to go into the melody folder and I'm going to bring something in and just build on top of this because I started this one just with a few different elements from this drum folder. That's really sick. All right, I'm going to look for something near the same BPM. Okay. Now I'm going to start playing with this sample on top of this drum groove we already started. We also have some incredible vocal loops. I'm gonna dive in and add something to it. So it's kind of cool because we got these like vintage boom bat sounding drums. We had this almost R&B sample that has this background 80s synth, and I'm just playing with this idea and I can keep taking it to new places. That's what this pack's about. Diving into places you don't normally do, combining resources and genres that normally don't belong or maybe aren't typically put together, and then just seeing what comes out of it. It's literally a creative engine for you, and because everything's processed in a certain type of way and we made sure that everything's kind of drag and drop ready, your mixes are going to sound way better because of it. For those of you guys who maybe have trouble starting songs, we really love this MIDI collection. So let me show you real quick how I'm just going to grab these one shots and combine it with different MIDI, and you're going to get so many song ideas within seconds. Watch. So the MIDI collection is actually organized by genre, just like the melodies folder. So if you want some more lo-fi inspired MIDI, just come in here. Right away, I was in the lo-fi folder and I found this. Like immediately I have exactly what I need to make some cool stuff. And honestly, the drum loops, to just lay down some quick ideas, if you just go to the right folder, I can find some stuff that's going to fit this vibe pretty much immediately. Okay, so remember that tonal ambience I was talking about? Let's see if one of these will match. It can just kind of sit in the back. It works at a couple different keys, but I'm going to leave it right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to go into a little secret folder called the Life Recordings. These are our producers from all over the world, just literally got their high quality recorders. Some people actually went on iPhone because we actually like the different sounds, and just went out to the city, their natural habitat, and got some cool sounds. Like here's a sample from Montreal. Just going to layer it. So if you didn't want that little bird, sometimes people want the bird. You can kind of just move the sample around and kind of blend it a little bit like this. If you just do a little bit of crossfading, people actually don't even realize. See, if you listen to the back of this sample, I mean, this is really what makes lo-fi and a lot of samples special, is he's like, listen to what's sitting in the back of this. Like, what the fuck is that, right? You just add the chords on top. You could probably even get like something like that just sitting with it. So now, just by playing with different elements in the pack, immediately I found a cool sound for it because I was working with the one-shots, and then I found all these weird textures to just add a feeling to it. Like, listen. A lot of cool stuff you can do with this pack, right? We've never had something where you can go as deep and emotional into different lo-fi sounds like that, but then at the same time dive into something as big sounding as like big festival stuff like this. Or even like some sick guitars from the breakdowns of these loops that really can make for any type of genre. Or maybe some cool stuff from Afrobeat collection. Or just diving into like the Sunset folder, which I was very excited about. Listen to this. This whole project was pretty much, what if you took this genre and these two genres that don't belong? What if you took these style drums and mixed it with these inspiring sources of sounds and make a bunch of cool stuff? And this whole thing, this whole project was essentially built for you to make placement ready beats, styles of music that you've never made before, making full albums. Like, you can get this thing, and we even have acapella, so you can make full albums. It doesn't matter which direction you're going in. Having this resource is essentially going to help you make music for decades and help you literally make albums and albums and albums worth of music. And every time you open it up, you're going to be making a brand new song in a brand new style you've never done before. Make sure you get on the waiting list. There's only 1,000 licenses of Solstice, and then it goes away forever. And I'm telling you, you do not want to miss out on this thing. If you're going to be making a lot of music this summer, new styles, you're really trying to take your career seriously, it's going to be a huge advantage for you. And if you guys have gotten production suites before, you guys know how valuable it is already. And don't forget, you're actually getting a bonus plugin called Corrosion that has not been dropped before. That's going to help you out in a lot of different sound design scenarios. So be on the lookout for that. It drops next Friday on June 14th. And when you're on that waiting list, you actually get an email and text 1 hour before the public release. So it's your best chances of getting your hands on Solstice and that brand new plugin. Anyways, that secret code is actually 777. So if you guys want to get that $100 worth of pre-packs, just type in that code 777. You will get access to those $100 worth of packs for free. And don't forget, get on the Solstice waiting list and get ready for this pack. It's honestly unlike anything we've ever done, and there's only 1,000 licenses, and I don't want you to miss out. So hope you guys have an awesome day, and peace out.